Welcome back to the third video in this series. This is for the cart product feed for WordPress. In this video, I'm going to talk about your feed overrides. Your feed overrides are going to help you deal with feed errors. That's to say, when Google rejects your products, you have a successful feed coming out, however, your products are not entering into the marketplace. Google's reporting errors. I'm going to deal with some of these errors, at least the most common ones, and we're going to get those feeds working for you. The first common error that we have is your description. A lot of people go into their products, and here I have a very short description. So I'm going to simply go ahead and modify and create a very long description using copy and paste. Now Google allows 10,000 characters, which is quite a bit. But let's say your description was longer than 10,000 characters and you were getting this error that your description is too long. You'd want to go into your feed and shorten your descriptions automatically. That's no problem at all. We go over to the feed section, and over in the advanced tab we have to set our maximum description length. The maximum description length, for example, if I set it equal to 25 characters, update, then get the feed, and view source. Let's see what we have. Description, ready for soup, ready for, and 25 character limit has been reached. So we're able to truncate our descriptions automatically so that they can fit into the feed requirements. In addition to the description length, I'm also able to enter and change what I'm going to call is the description content. Description content is a very tricky situation where Google says your feed contains illegal characters or illegal code. And this can be a little bit difficult to understand, but the feed is submitted in what we call UTF-8, and if you have special characters in your feed, that's to say, for example, this especially accented E, souffle, then sometimes Google can reject your characters. And for Cyrillic languages, this is especially common. So rather than have to go to each product and remove those characters, we can actually tell the plugin to do that for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter a concept called a strict description. So, strict description, in this case, is going to be replacing the special characters with an underscore character. And I'm going to remove my maximum description length. Actually, I'll change it to 50, or 125, that should be. Update, see the results. And we see, for example, that this description is now no longer ready for souffle, but that special character underscore E that was over here has now been replaced by just the underscores. So now that description will be accepted by Google. Tax is a very common problem that we have within the system. A lot of countries have different tax formats, and Google has different expectations depending on what country your store is in. For the US, you typically don't have to actually add a tax. For EU, you have to add the VAT, and for Canada and Australia, you must add tax. And so therefore, the configuration is going to be a little bit different depending on your country. By default, we have no tax. However, you can add tax directly into a given product. For example, in this particular product, I'm going to add a attribute. Actually, I'll add a custom field in this case. So my custom field is going to be called tax. And I'm going to set the tax at 70%. That's a very high tax, but let's just play make-believe here. Okay, so we have a tax of 70%, and then the feed will pick it up automatically. and it will add our tax field for us. So that's a very simple way of adding tax. Concept of tax. Because most people probably have too many products to go add tax to each single product.
So what we're going to do is add concepts. Rather than set tax for one particular product, we're going to add tax for all the products. How? A system-wide tax. In this case, a 70% tax. Update. Get feed. View source. And here we see tax on each and every single product. For example, this product here, go down to the middle, this product over here, that's this one there, and go down near the end, and yes, even this product down here, each and every single product has been given the same tax. Now mind you, it's better to do this on your Google Merchant account, but if you have to do it in the feed, this is the way to do it. Currency. My store is listed in Canadian dollars. My store sells into the US. I now have a problem. The Google Merchant Center does not accept my currency in CAD or CDN. It expects US. This is going to be a bit of a difficulty. However, it can be easily solved by the plugin. Change my currency. Currency equals Canadian zebras. Update. Get feed. View source. And my prices now have the CZE specifier on them instead of the CAD or CDN, or even instead of the US. And I can even specify no currency just by leaving that field blank. So I can actually remove the currency in case that's the one that's causing the problem. Lastly, some people have mentioned ghost attributes. Ghost attributes is to say attributes that are appearing in the feed that they did not specify. And there's a very strange and technical reason for that, which I'll try to explain for you. Over here, we see attribute mappings. In my case, I have my 3 attribute mappings: the carrier, the condition, and the storage. Now it's important to note that these attribute mappings come from WooCommerce. They do not come from within the plugin itself. That is to say that if I go over to WooCommerce and I go to attributes, changing these 3 attributes does not necessarily remove existing attributes from within the system. So if I go to condition and click delete, the condition attribute vanishes from the attribute mapping, which is to say you no longer see it. However, it still exists within the plugin database because you mapped it earlier to size. And therefore, condition will continue to come out even though you remove it from the attributes. Easy solution for this: erase all your mappings and start again. That's to say, set your brand attribute and you're ready to go. That's the video. Or more configuration or support, happy to help.